Okay. I only get 10 minutes per video, so sometimes I get carried away and forget. Basically what we're doing here is we're just doing the main fuselage all the way back. It's just all basically just the same thing. Endpoint to endpoint. Here's where we get fuselage does a weird thing. It does that. It kind of jets in. So really, I need another part here. Just to do that. I'm actually going to do the process. The idea is also to eliminate small parts that are going to be too small, so small you can't cut them out, or you can't roll them or build them. Alright, so that looks like an odd assortment of circles, and looks like I forgot one there. This looks just like an odd assortment of ovals until you get to the next step where the magic happens. The loft. I type in loft, it says select curves to loft, so we're going to start right here. Make sure these 2 points are exactly centered. If you don't, you'll mess everything up. Hit enter. Now I always rebuild with 50 control points. That gives you tight enough. It doesn't eat up your processor, and it also uses the. But it does. If you do less than that, it doesn't stick very well to the lines, as you can see here. What if I do it with 50? It goes right on the line. So you need just always when you're doing the loft, click surface. Kind of click close to the edge and click surface edge. What that does is, instead of matching panel lines to panel lines, which are lines to lines, which a lot of times they don't quite line up, or the lofting isn't very accurate to the lines. So if you just do curve to curve, your parts aren't going to fit together very well. So if you do surface edge to curve, the parts will line up perfectly. And that is for anybody who wonders, is my secret why I always have good matching parts. Because I always make sure I match up surface edge when I loft. Okay, that is our fuselage, except for the nose. Now here we have a problem, because if I loft surface edge to line, it looks like it's alright, but if you go right here, you'll notice this little mess. That's the line you want, and that's the line it could do. Oftentimes what I'll do is I'll break up it explode, breaks it up into component parts, and then do the same thing for any straight circles behind it. So do is I'll select the circle, or the curve, not the surface, but the curve. Hit split, use that line, and split it. And then, you do your loft, curve. This is the one time you do curve to curve. And there, you have your, you'll have to be careful when you unroll to make sure you match up those parts. Another problem we'll have is if you notice where the rings split, I always try to make sure they go on the bottom. This one isn't gonna have a very good one. So what I'll do is draw that line, select that, split, click that line, and now that gives you that split. What you'll do is you'll unroll this part and then this part and match these edges up on the part. We'll show that later when we... Okay, now we have, this one's a little harder because it's the same thing. We have to split, and we're going to do the same thing we did before. This time we can go surface edge to surface edge. Sometimes, depending on angle, it's hard to get that surface edge. Okay, here's another trick. Split that again. Using that line. That gives you that. So that way, you can go surface edge to surface edge. Okay, sometimes this will happen when you're lofting. Basically what's happened, I've discovered, is that you have to basically, if you want a straight loft, you have to click, they divide the circle in half, or the edge in half, and you have to click within the same two halves on the thing or it's going to twist like this. If you see that happen, hit align curves, then click, and that'll straighten it out. And you just hit enter, and then OK. And then you can either just loft again, doing this, which sometimes isn't successful, or what I'll just recombine that circle. So highlight the left click and drag down, then remove that and click join. And that basically turns that back into a whole circle, which you can then loft. And there is our joined fuselage.